Hey everybody, Derek from Mac Gaming here. Finally, the day has arrived. I have my hands on the M2 MacBook Pro. So you guys can see here in the video, I'm doing a really fast unboxing since, there's not really much to see here. It's the same design that we saw back in 2020 with the M1, the same body, housing, everything is exactly the same. It still has those two Thunderbolt ports on the left side. It has the 3.5 millimeter audio jack on the right. It also has the touch bar. I know all the Pro models have the touch bar. You can either love it or hate it. I already had it back in the 2019 i5 MacBook Pro. I didn't really enjoy it that much. It wasn't that useful, but like I was saying, it's a love-hate situation. So here we have it, the 2022 M2 MacBook Pro. As I just said, there isn't much really to see here. It's the same design that we saw back in 2020 with the M1. It's, the same screen, the same keyboard. At least it's not the butterfly keyboard. The same ports and, all in all, all that's new in here is the M2 chip. So what we're really interested in is in performance. We really want to see if the M2 performs faster than the M1. And as you guys can see here on screen right now, I'm testing CineBench R23 on the M2 MacBook Pro for multi-core and single core. As you can see here, it's just, I really had to speed it up. And the multi-core scores around 88,683 points, and the single core 1,592. Another very interesting benchmark that's usually seen with technology, MacBooks, phones is GeekBench. Here at first, we're doing the CPU benchmark, which is giving us a multi-score of 8,948 and a single score of 1,912. And when running the GPU benchmark, we can see that it will score over 30,000 points. And 30,402 points. This is fresh without anything else on the MacBook. So guys, when comparing figures for the M1 MacBook Air and the M2 MacBook Pro, what really stands out here is that the multi-core benchmark scored 38.5% more than the M1 MacBook Air, and the GPU, according to benchmark, scored almost 60% more power than the M1 MacBook Air. And that's actually what's interesting here. So all in all, it's looking like what we're seeing here is an upgrade or higher performance in the CPU multi-core and in the GPU. A 60% increase, at least in this artificial benchmark done by GeekBench, is already telling us that yes, the GPU is going to be much better. Those 10 cores are already the 10 M2 cores are already running much faster than the 7 cores in the M1. And that's actually what we're going to do now. I'm really looking forward to testing some games, comparing them to the M1, seeing how it behaves, see if we actually profit from active cooling, and all in all, guys, seeing if it's really worth our money to get the MacBook Pro with the M2 chip, at least when it's looking at games. So guys, as usual, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and also stay tuned for more content.